Okay, so now I'm going to do the face, so the foundation and the blush and everything. I'm not going to do it right now, but normally I would use a primer first. So you put it down and it helps keep the face matte and it'll help the foundation last longer, but I don't need it to last long right now, so I won't use it. I'm going to start with foundation. So the one I'm using is also by Wet n Wild. It's like $6 from CVS or Target, and they do have a lot of shades. I hope nobody right now is running out and buying makeup because it's very last minute, but if you do need to, they have a lot of shades and it's good quality. I find that it works well. So I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. I'm gonna mix 2 different shades because I'm in between colors right now. I'm not quite as tan as the bottle I'm holding, but I'm not as pale as the other one that I have. So I'm gonna grab it. You have to make sure that it matches your skin or your child's skin because it's pretty obvious, especially with stage lights, if it's too light or too dark, especially if it's too light. If it's too light, it's very, very noticeable. So I'm gonna mix it on the back of my hand. I have it on a little sponge here. You can get these from pretty much anywhere. And I'm just gonna start putting it on my face. So I wanna go all the way around. I want to be careful when I get to my eyes because I don't want to mess up the makeup I have, and I'm going to be careful when I get to my eyebrows as well. But you want to blend it in as well as you can, and you want to take it everywhere up to the hairline down here, and you want to go down to the neck because it's also very obvious if someone has foundation that doesn't match their skin because you can see like a line of foundation and then their neck. So you want to make sure that you take it down, get your nose. Once again, being mindful of the eye makeup. And then on the forehead too. Again, being careful of the eyebrows, but you can always go back to the eyebrows and refill them in if they get a little bit covered up by foundation because you need to make sure that the eyebrows are dark. I actually might not have done my eyebrows dark enough, so you might want to bring your eyebrow pencil with you in case it like turns out that these need to be darker. So I pretty much have it all on. I'm gonna take a foundation brush. This part's not really necessary. I just like doing this to make sure that everything's really blended in because I don't want it to look like I obviously have a lot of foundation on my skin. Make sure you blend it down your neck and up into your hairline. So the next step I'm gonna do, I'm not sure is something that the younger girls need to do, but maybe the older girls, is concealer. So I'm gonna put this under my eyes to cover up any dark circles. Again, you just have to be careful of the eye makeup you already have on. So I'm just gonna put on a little bit, and I'm mixing colors again because I don't have one right now that is an exact match to me. And again, you're just gonna take a sponge and blend it out. And you wanna blend it upwards and lightly tap, because it's not good for your under eye if you like really roughly blend. So again, it does not have to be the most perfect makeup in the world, but you do need it to be done. And especially if you have dark circles, it's good to put concealer. But like I said, that's probably not an issue that the younger girls really have. So I'm just gonna finish by blending it out with my finger. So there. So that's all finished. Now what I'm gonna do, also not necessarily a super important step, but I always do it, especially because right now my foundation's not an exact match. So it's a contour kit or a bronzer, just using any darker powder than your skin tone really. So I'm gonna take this one right here, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna put some of it on my temple and then right here, and then along my cheekbone. And this is just in case your foundation is a little bit too light, you can kind of darken it by using this. Now again, on this side, you have to make sure you blend everything into the temple because you don't want any to have like a white space. You want everything to be blended in pretty nicely. Okay, so I just did the bronzer, and now for the blush. I happen to have this whole big palette and it has blushes at the bottom, but I think it's rose pink blush if you have pink eyeshadow. And you need to do a lot of blush. This is very important because this is one of those things that's very noticeable from the stage, and it's something you want to be very noticeable. So I'm just gonna I'll take this middle blush right here, and you want a lot of it. So this is not, again, everyday normal makeup. It has to be a lot more than what you would normally put on. So then smile and put it on the apples of your cheeks. And you want a lot of blush, like a lot, like you've been sunburned. And blend it upwards. So again, just keep tapping it on and blending it on. And that should be enough, but I would always bring it with you in case you end up needing more. So blush is done. Again, this isn't a necessary step, but I'm gonna take some highlighter. This is one by Becca, and highlighter is basically like this shimmery powder that you put at the tops of your cheekbones, and when the light hits it, it shines. So it's supposed to be where the sunlight would naturally hit you. So I'm gonna take this brush, and I'm just gonna put a little bit over here. I remember I did this last year for kathak, but I don't know if it's something that like is a necessary thing. If you have it, I think it could be nice to do, especially because on the stage lights it'll really hit. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose and down the bridge, and a little of the Cupid's bow. So done with that. Now, because I went and I did all of the foundation, I'm going to go back with my Kajal, and I'm going to just do the waterline again to make sure it's just as dark and intense as it was before. So gently tugging down on the bottom of your eye. And I'm just gonna put some more. And then I'm gonna put some mascara on the bottom as well, so that it's visible. If you or your child has really long bottom eyelashes, then maybe skip this because it'll drag and it might distract them or distract you. So I'm just gonna put a little bit. Okay, there we go, so you can see it. So then the last step is the lips. My group, especially, at least we're doing maroon, and I know a lot of other groups are doing red. So I would say the best thing to do is to first use a lip liner. So it looks like this. It looks like pencil eyeliner, but it's in color. And what you do is you basically outline your lips first, and then you fill it in with the actual lipstick. And so that means that the lipstick is a lot cleaner looking, and it doesn't, like, you're not really going outside of the lines. Especially if you're doing someone else's makeup, I find this very, very helpful. If you don't have lip liner, right now mine's not sharpened, and I don't know why my sharpener is. What you can do is, so I have my lipstick here. This is also a NYX lipstick, the Super Clicky. The NYX has really good lipsticks. They're very cheap, they're very pigmented, and they last a long time. But so what you can do is you can take a smaller brush like this. You can dip it in and then line your lips like that with the brush. But I don't have any clean brushes for that right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go in and do it. So what you wanna do is you wanna kinda have your lips open, unless you're doing this for someone else, you also want them to have their lips open. And then you wanna start here at the top and kinda make a mark, like an X, so that you have this area defined and you don't wanna go across from that. And then you're just gonna go lightly. Remember, you want this to be as clean as possible, because if you have to wipe it off, you might also wipe off your foundation. So then, again, in here, kind of go like, so that your lip stretches out, it's easier to put on. And just rub your lips. Put on more if you need to. So I'm not gonna put on any more right now, but I normally would. And then my trick is you take your finger, like you're kissing your finger, and you see all this excess lipstick that would have gotten on your teeth. Now again, you go like this, like that, and there's more excess lipstick that would have gotten on your teeth. So this is pretty much the final finished look. I would go ahead and use a setting spray, also by NYX. Again, find all of this at CVS and Target. So setting spray will make your makeup last longer. So that's what I would do. And it also makes your face look less powdery and cakey. I almost forgot. You should use powder. I have this one right here by Clinique. It's a loose powder, but also if you have a pressed powder, that works too. Just take some and then go over your whole face with it so that your makeup lasts. Especially if you have oily skin, this is a good step to do. It makes everything last longer. So do this at the very end and then go and do some setting spray. So I'm gonna look weird doing this, but and then fan it. And so now your makeup will last and it won't like sweat off or anything. Especially it'll be hot because it's June and the stage lights are very hot. It'll stay on. And this is your finished makeup. So one more thing I will quickly mention is that this makeup is like, it's difficult to get off. I find the best makeup remover is coconut oil. I just keep a jar of it in my bathroom. So you just take some, rub it on your hands, and then rub it on your face. And it'll pretty much come right off, and then wash your face, and then with whatever's makeup is left, go and use makeup remover and makeup wipe and wipe it off, and then wash your face again. Make sure it's all gone. It's not healthy for your skin if you have any remaining makeup. So that's, in my opinion, the best way to take this off.